Well, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This is Power Talk. My name is Ram Aguko. Nimesema good morning.
Hey,
Nimesema good morning.
yes.
Puh, a very good evening to you. I'm used to saying morning. A very good evening to you from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Ram Aguko, and I said this is Power Talk. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I hope that you've had a fantastic day on this fine Thursday evening. I hope that you're well from wherever you're tuned in. We are coming to you live from the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation here in Nairobi, Kenya. And of course, it's a pleasure being with you today. Today, we have a very fantastic show lined up for you. We want to talk about how you can capitalize on your skills. That's right, capitalizing on your skills. How best can you ensure that you gain the right skill set for you to get a job, sustain a job, start a business, and keep a business? How can you ensure that you have the right skill set that will enable you to stand out from the rest of your peers? Today, let's empower you right here on Power Talk. To help us in this discussion, I'm with Nancy Wanja Wachira. To my far right, she's a nail technician, and Edward Githaiga, the CEO of Vision 2030 Youth Entrepreneurs Associates.
Yes.
Karibuni sana.
Thank you very much.
Mko salama?
Yeah.
Tuko salama.
Nancy, how you feeling?
Feeling good.
Good.
Yeah.
Edward?
Powerful. That's
Powerful.
the word. Powerful.
That's the word.
You know, when you come to the Power Talk show, you have to be feeling powerful so
You must
that
be
you
powerful.
can be able to engage with the audience.
Yeah.
And also have a good time at it.
Thanks so much for coming.
You're welcome.
I invite your presence and your feedback from wherever you're watching us from. Okay? Head over to our Facebook page. That's at Y254. Ensure that you like the page and drop in your comments on the comments section on our post of the day. How best can you capitalize on your skill? Ask your questions. Give us your thoughts in regards to this. What are those skills that have helped you to get to where you want to be? What are those skills that have established you to be where you are today? Let's talk about that and let's help each other. Do you lack skills? Okay? The hashtag, as always, is Power Talk Show. My handle is at Ram Aguko. The official station handle is at Y254 channel. The hashtag, Power Talk Show. First things first, let me start with you, Edward.
Yes.
Okay? When you talk about skills,
Yeah.
many people always say, I have skills.
Yeah.
But they don't understand what we mean. How important is it to have a conversation like this
Yes.
on capitalizing on skills?
Yes.
Why is it important?
Thank you very much. My name is Edward Githaiga. I'm happy to be here. I'm the Vision 2030 Youth Entrepreneur CEO. And indeed, it's a pleasure to be here, and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you for inviting me.
Mwaka tumesha kusema Happy New Year.
But it's still a new year. This
Yeah.
is the first time I'm here in 2023.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be here because it's a great opportunity. Now, on to your question. Skills is not something you learn just because you go to university or school. It has to come from the background. It has to come from a foundational point of view. So perhaps the things that you learn from early childhood in your human development are also very sentimental things, because skills also have to go with passion. You get skilled into what you like doing, and that's the normal way. So I advise people out there, is the first thing, especially those young parents out there who want to kind of create a better opportunity than they had for their children, is first get your children to discover at an early age what they're passionate about. Because with passion, it brings a vibration, it brings positivity, it brings a good mindset, so that by the time you start going into the educational system, where now you discover you want to be a carpenter, you want to be a technician, after high school, apprenticeships, university, skills are learned through training. Yeah? I mean, a skill is so hard to find unless it's a genius, somebody who was born with certain qualities. Then you would say they were skilled from birth. But naturally, we as human beings learn our skills.
But then,
through training.
but then I'm asking, why is it important for someone to listen and say, you know what, this conversation is necessary?
Yes, it is important for everybody to listen to this, because skills can be gained at any moment of their life, especially at adulthood.
Okay, I
Skills
get you
can
now.
be gained at any moment. So you can be 60, you can be 70, you can be 20, you can be 35, you can be 40. You can learn, you can train and gain a skill.
And it's
into
never
something.
too late to learn something new.
Exactly.
Huh?
It's never too late.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
never too late. Nancy, what do you think about that? And I want to get it from you, from your perspective, because you a nail
Technician.
nail art. Is it? Should I say nail art?
It's the same, but nail art, it comes on the nail issues, you see. Like ni madoido. Art.
Madoido.
Ni madoido.
Yeah, so should you say nail technician or nail artist?
It's the same.
Oh, it's the same?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me get it from you. As somebody who has, trained yourself and skills like this, unazielewa vizuri sana. Na ukienda pale unaweza fundisha hata mtu. Unasema these are the do's and the don'ts. Okay? Do you feel like watu wengi hawaelewi skills zao sana?
Most of the people hawaelewi skills zao juu they don't put strength on that skill. Maybe unaona like I'm good in this, but you don't want to work on it. But the moment you take a step and you work on it, it's good. Yeah. And you can go far.
You can go far.
Yeah.
Your skills can take you far.
Yeah.
Many think that skills are just for a particular job.
No.
I want to get it from the perspective, and we are going to break it down. Okay, we're going to break it down. Sure. There are some skills that many people do not recognize as skills, but they are skills. Number one, time management.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. Okay, time management.
Yes.
Do you feel like we really don't recognize this as a skill? Do you think it is a skill? And is that a place where many youths fail?
Okay, one thing you have to understand is success is not a one-day event. It's a process.
Yeah.
And so therefore, even skills are things that we have to learn and have discipline about. For example, if you work in an office, you're an accountant, you're a skilled person in accounts, you know mathematics, but you have poor timekeeping skills, meaning that you don't manage your time well. Your personal development is poor, your own personal development. Like maybe you go out drinking late at night instead of sleeping early because you have a very serious job that you have to do. So it's all about self-management. You have to be able to kind of categorize or sphere your life in knowing that you have to have good management skills for time, you have to have good communication skills, you have to have skill sets that are very important that can make you survive and also succeed in your own skill. And skill now is that apprenticeship, what you're doing, what you're good at. Like she said, she's a good nail artist. So in her skill, like she mentioned, you have to be disciplined and you have to have the passion and you have to be hardworking. No matter how many times you try and fail, you have to keep moving with it. Yeah, because the rewards are strong. Yeah, they're powerful.
And for nail artistry, is time management applicable there?
So much. On the issue of skills, if you can't put more of your time there, I think you can lose a lot.
Or you can lose customers.
Yeah.
For example, you take a lot of time on one particular customer.
The moment you come to the nail, because I'm a nail technician, kwa issue ya nails, I have to have time with that customer to deliver what the customer wants.
What if it take too long? Ladies take a lot of time doing manicure, pedicure.
Yeah.
And I wonder, are they really time managers?
No, due to doing a lot of more arts and what, now it comes to a point where when you are giving yourself to the customer, you are able to do fast. Yeah.
Okay. So when you take, like, how long does it take, for example, to
One
be done
customer.
with one customer?
40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
So that's both pedicure and manicure.
Yeah.
Githaiga, unajua tofauti kati hizo vitu?
I think we live in the modern world. So, and in fact, I want to challenge you as well because most of the best nail polishers and artists are male. right?
Yeah.
In the
By
market.
the way, yeah.
Yeah, so it's no longer something that is secluded just to one gender. It's about entrepreneurship. And young men are getting to it because, and that's what we always account for, like Vision 2030 Youth Entrepreneurs. We're there to inculcate an entrepreneurship culture. But however, like you're talking about management of skills, you have to have practical skills in planning. Number one skill that everybody has to have is planning, right?
Plan.
You have to be able to have your own plan. Plan what you want, plan your business, plan your time, plan your family, so that you create a balance. And I think most of the times where we go wrong is in the planning stage.
That's called organizational
Yes,
skills.
yes.
Senor?
Exactly.
Organizational skills.
Yes. And also you know about SMART, like the meaning of SMART.
Yes.
Specific, measurable, attainable, and accurate and time bound.
Yes.
You see, so whatever you do,
Realistic.
You thank you.
Realistic.
Smart is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound.
Attainable, stroke accurate.
Accurate,
Realistic,
time bound. Right?
time bound, yeah.
So if you apply that in your life, you find that your life will go smoothly, because if it's in your business, you use the smart way. If it's in your family, you use the smart way, because that's how life just has to be. But most of us are not trained these things, and that's why I said one of the things that we would like to, as Vision 2030, one of the programs that we have right now that we're doing with TVETs and universities is trying to inculcate entrepreneurship skills through the SMART project, whereby these young people start learning how to manage their business and their business ideas and how to bring that out at an early stage, so that by the time they are out of university, they are already running small businesses and they don't have to rely on employment. And I can also tell you, one of the things that has made our society look so clouded is the fact that we need to be more, we need to plan this country in a better way. We cannot keep trying doing the same thing and expecting different results. And that is why we hope that this current government and the youth as well, entrepreneurs, everybody will come in together, because you can't build a society on your own. And that's why you see there's so much havoc around. And I know where you're going to with even this topic when you talk about skills, and why people should be watching this topic, so that people can begin to open up their minds and realize that that little thing, that little contribution that you do, that little discipline that you have is what that will make you succeed.
How you can capitalize on your skill. That is the conversation that we're having today. Capitalizing on your skill set. That's the discussion. Yes. And let me come to you, Nancy, about this. And one particular skill that I want us to move on to is concerning customer service, customer relations, interpersonal skills, how you relate with a customer. Okay, let me differentiate, yeah? Customer service, particularly that, so that I don't mix it with interpersonal. So, do you feel like that's very important? Like that's a very key area, and how can somebody maximize on that particular skill?
To that point of customer service, you must be humble. The first thing, ukwe humble na huyo client.
Unyanyenyekea hata kikuja kwako.
Yeah, ili ujue venye utahandle huyo client. And you should be talkative. Ongea na yeye. You should not stay silent. Juu Kenya client anataka you deliver, you must speak well with the client. And in that process, at least unamwambia, you can do another service, at least anaona yenyewe, I can do it. You see?
Kuna mimi mingine niliona hapa juzi. I don't know when it was, but it was a recent one. I don't know if you guys saw it. You go to, somebody goes to a shop, and anasema, ingo pesa ngapi? Jamaa anasema ni 1500. So nikatie ikue 1000 ngapi? Mimi niko na 3000. Hapana. Kama hauna 1500 wewe enda. Hakuna.
Yes.
And they will chase you. I don't know if you guys have seen such kind of behavior or such character. Is that something that you've seen, especially in your business? Umeona kitu kama hiyo kifanyika, and ni kitu poa?
Onto a business, like when we are doing marketing, we put a fixed price. Like if you are doing the manicure, you put the price there. That
Na
is
mtu
a
akitaka
fixed
kubargain?
price. Now to that issue of bargaining, I think no, but we put the fixed price affordable for the client. Yeah.
Edward,
Yes.
your thoughts on the same? When you look at customer service, especially how youths in business
Yes.
handle clients,
Yes.
is there a gap? Are we making mistakes, especially when we're dealing with customers? Somebody just chases you away. If you don't have 5,000, it's okay. Wachana nayo mwingine atakuja.
I think you have to look at it in a very kind of perspective. Because one, there are different kinds of businesses that we have. Because now you're talking about the formation of those businesses.
Yeah.
There's small micro businesses where you have a small business and perhaps it's a micro business, it's a skill-based business that requires capacity. And that's why we at Vision 2030 always look to train entrepreneurs in their micro and small business enterprises about the skills that you have to have for customer service. Because customer is king. The customer is always right. So no matter what the customer tells you, you have to be humble, like she said. You have to have those set skills to be able to deal with the client. Remember, you're the one who wants the client to enter his pocket and pay for a commodity that you're selling. So your work is to ensure that he's a prospective client, he becomes a qualified client, he becomes a person who buys from you. So it's a process. So I think this is one of the things that is lacking in our society, where we're not training people, we're training them on skills, but we're not training them on relationship building. We're not training them on human skills, relationships, you know, how to deal with them, customer service. We tend to inculcate a lot of the technical skills out there in universities, in colleges, but we fail the soft skills, which are like the skills that every day to day that you need to use as
That's
a
why
human
this
being.
conversation is very important.
Yeah.
That's why this is important. So,
Yeah.
let's talk about that particular issue, only that.
Yes.
So how can someone learn to capitalize on that particular area? How do you teach yourself? How do you learn, relearn, and unlearn?
You see, for example, as first you have to be balanced. Let's not try and escape the fact that we are all human beings and we all go through our different stages of life.
Exactly.
For example, it could be economical, it could be mental, psychological, it could be anything. So at that particular day of that day, the person needs to know whatever you're facing in your life. When you go to your business premises, you have to differentiate. No matter even if you came from home with your quarrel with your wife and you get to your business, you forget about that.
Forget about those.
So you have to be able to know yourself and have a balance within yourself and create a space within you and around you when you're in the business place. So that the kind of person you are in the business premises is a person who is there to make sure that you serve your customers right, you follow the law as it's supposed to be in terms of how you're running your business, and you do it correctly. Yeah.
Nancy, ukiangalia kitu amesema, do you agree with what he's saying, that whatever kitu nyumbani, wacha nyumbani, kama ni job, hiyo ni job. Yet at the same time, I'm looking at a scenario where families are doing businesses together. What do you do when the person who you're doing a business with is your relative? I don't know, are you alone in that business? Are you doing it with someone who is close to you, like family or friend?
Yeah. Kwenye nafanya kazi, we like tuna cooperate with a lot of people, and most of the people, we know each other. Some are family friends, because we are many youths.
Or you're doing it together? Some are family friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on that issue of anger, rudeness, hiyo ukifika kwa mlango unaiacha tu. Obviously you will talk to another person rudely.
Like some of these
So-
M-Pesa ladies.
and you see, it all falls back again to the training. And I encourage each and every small and micro enterprise who don't have the corporate identity to seek some training in customer service and other skills that are soft skills. For example, you can be a good business person, but you don't have computer skills. You're not IT literate, so you can't even do your own accounting. You can't type a letter. So you need, as entrepreneurs, we always encourage soft skills as the most important, because you could be good at something, like a painter, but you're very good at your attitude towards the customer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you lose your contract because of how you treat your customer. So therefore, it is so important that business people get training so that they're able to build their capacity in how they deal with the clients and how they deal with the public in general, so that they can have the best out of their businesses. And it's not something that they are lacking inside or something they're going through in their life that should make them be represented that way while they're performing their businesses.
Yeah. Now, moving forward, still quickly, there are so many things we need to tackle. Problem-solving skills.
Yes.
A very big problem here. A very big challenge. A problem arises at work, Jama may resign.
Yes.
Stuck your job tena. Some even go to the point of saying, you know what, I'm not going to go to that job, and they won't even alert their bosses that they have stopped working. You just realize, oh, Jama siku hizi hakuji kazi, especially in your industry. Jamaa tu anakuza tu kuja kazi siku moja. Unampigia simu na mtafuta uko wapi? Ati mimi nimeacha kazi. Unachanga, then what next? Do you have another job? Sina. Nitatafuta, Mungu ataleta. Problem solving skills. Hebu give your take in regards to that.
Point number one, kwa hiyo issue, people don't like putting strength on what you love, on skills. Strength.
Okay.
Lack of putting strength on your skill.
Okay.
People don't have getting tired. Hupendi kazi yako. You never appreciate what you do. Those are the things that make one to lose even a job. Also something else, like you don't relate with the customer well.
Yeah.
You always have troubles with the customer.
Every customer anakuja, unakumbana naye.
Yeah. Hiyo ndio shida ingine. And the third problem still is the time, morning hours. Maybe mtu hataki kuamka mapema. Hiyo ni shida ingine, hataki kufika kazi mapema. And still mtu hawezi kuja kazi time yenye anataka. Still you have to tackle on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Githaiga?
It also
problem solving skills.
Yes, problem solving skills is a lifelong skills. Every day you have to learn, because we are always dealing with our problems, and problems are always challenges. You know, we're supposed to look at challenges and problems in a positive perspective, because if we look at it from a negative perspective, then we tend to move away from it and shy away from it. And that's where you find a lot of people have negative attitude towards life, because when they face a problem in their life, instead of dealing with the problem and facing it head on, for example, you feel a bit lazy, you feel that you don't want to wake up from your bed, then that is a problem, right? So you need to wake up from your bed, you need to rub off yourself and get out and go and have a shower and go to work, right? So, okay, you have a problem with your wife. How do you deal with it? Are you going to go to the bar and drink yourself out and then go home and sleep and perhaps just have an argument and insults? No. You're going to look at it soberly, right? And figure out where did it start from?
Where did the rain start beating?
Yes, and be very empathetic while you're doing this, so that you're able to see the other person's perspective. You're not just looking at yourself, being the right, it's me. No. You have to be able to be empathetic, somebody who understands other people, looks at things from a different perspective. But I know in life it's not always like that, you know, because we're dealing with so many things. And this is why, again, as an adult, we always call at Vision 2030 for people to continue building their skills and building their soft skills, so that they can know how to deal with day-to-day problems, business-to-business problems, and even just look at the country today. We have so many problems. We have a big budget of 3.3 trillion, but we seem not to be solving the problems. Every other day, problems keep coming up. So it shows us that as a society as well, and also at the atomic level of the individual, our problem-solving skills are wanting in this country. And that is why we are calling upon Kenyans who are watching this show to get books that teach people, because it's only through acquiring knowledge that you learn. It's only through sharing with a professional, like a psychologist. I am a psychologist, or a counselor, and you go and figure out how to solve these issues. You cannot be sick and be your own doctor. And the best way to deal with problems is to look at problems in a positive way and figure out how to come out of it, or how to solve it, or how to balance it out.
Yeah.
Because, for example, problems also come because of habit, right? Every little habit that you have, for example, if you don't have good money management skills, right? Money management. You know, money's got a language itself. It's like a being, an energy.
That is still yet another skill.
Yes, exactly.
I wanted us to touch on that after the break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, and every time you're paid on your salary, the first thing you do is go to the bar and buy your friends alcohol. Every day you spend 20, 30 on that. Trust me, in 5 years, you'll be a pauper. However, on the other side of things, if you learn how to save that 20 shillings, 50 shillings, 100 shillings, each and every day, in 5 years, you'll be a millionaire.
Hold that thought. Umeshaenda mbele yangu, brother.
Sorry.
But I love the trajectory.
Yes.
Money is also another area.
Yes.
We will touch on that after this break, so that we can be able to best understand hii tabia ya watu kula smoky kila wakati. Nancy imemguza hapo. Unapenda smoky? I want us to take a short break, and then we'll be back. This conversation still continues. How can you capitalize on your skills? Let's take that break. We'll be back in a bit. Keep it Power Talk. Welcome back. We still proceed with this conversation right here on Power Talk. Thank you so much for being with us, and we proceed with the conversation on skill set, how you can capitalize on your skill right here. Now, let me just take a look at what people are saying on our social media platforms as we proceed with this evening conversation. Remember to head over to our Facebook page, and we shall be able to sample your feedback as we continue. Now, let's go to Facebook. This is on my screen here. And of course, Edward and Nancy, mnaza giving your thoughts. I hope you guys have asked questions. Eman James, anasema very educative and useful. God bless you. Also, the capacity to withstand problems without knowledge of its end. Ati? Okay.
The capacity.
Anasema the capacity
Yes.
to withstand problems without knowledge of its end. I don't understand that
It's like
sentence.
he's trying to say that, you have skill, you have resilience. You have issues that you're going through, but you're able to withstand without knowing, what you're doing. But later on, you come and realize, wow, so that is what I achieved. Sometimes you deal with issues without the capacity, without the knowledge.
So
You have not done any training. Nobody has told you this is how you need to deal with a problem at home, but you've dealt with it because you have innate skills. There's something inside you. I guess maybe my sister can give us a
Umeona kinaweza?
Yeah, I can understand maybe.
Mimi imenichanganya kidogo.
Anasema very educated and useful.
Hiyo part ya capacity to withstand problems
without knowledge
of its end.
Maybe anatry kusema like uko na skill ndani yako, but you don't have that knowledge, you have that skill. Haijakutokezea vizuri.
Eman, ebu fafanua Eman. Dorcas March anasema watching and following from Thika Makongeni. Asante sana.
Yes.
Colleen Stanley watching from Kiambu Kamwangi. Asante sana. Let's just sample these only. We'll proceed with the rest later on.
Okay.
Let's proceed with the conversation. Cindy?
Yes.
Now, capitalizing on your skill. The next skill set that you were mentioning was on financial literacy.
Yes.
Hey, hapo ndo pali kuna shida. Nancy, let me start with you. about kutumia pesa. Do you feel like matumizi ya pesa ni jambo ambayo inasumbua vijana sana?
Sana. Kwa youths nowadays they're spending a lot. Like huwezi niambia mtu anaweza spend like 300 for a breakfast. Sijasema usikule.
Ayasema usikule.
Sijasema mtu asikule.
Like you don't use 300.
300 is a lot, maybe depending on the salary you are gaining that day. Yeah. Huwezi kuwa una spend 300 and maybe in the evening you'll get that 300.
Alafu nategemea pia na salary yako mwisho wa mwezi.
Yeah.
It's called living beyond your means, which is one of the greatest downfall of our young generation. And this is particularly brought about, if I may add on to your point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good, strong point. Yeah, so what we're saying is that youth are living beyond their means. And why are they living beyond their means? Is because they don't know where they are. For example, when we're talking about skills, we've given the different type of skills. And now we've come to in planning, there's also budgeting and financial management skills that you need to have. Especially financial management skills are not skills that you just have for your business. They're also personal finances.
They're also personal.
As much as you receive money, whether it's for your own salary or somebody has given you, you have to know how to manage that money. By having budgeting skills. Yeah?
Yeah.
You have to be able to budget your money and plan your money well. So that even if you want to have a task as a young person, you can still have it, but on a moderate scale. Right?
Yeah.
You should not let bad habits take over your financial management. Because most of the youth, what you have is they have money, they get excited, they've made 1 million, 2 million, maybe 200,000, 300,000. And because of also their surrounding and their environment, you find these are other things that in life we have to all choose who we always are about. Because show me your friends and I'll tell you your future, right? Show me your friends today and I'll tell you the direction you're going.
Who you are.
Yeah. And you find most of the time peers tend to have a hold on their peers, especially the young people, because one, they lack experience. They've never been through a down, hard fall, or they've never suffered or struggled because maybe they're coming from their family enclave, so they feel a bit safe. So they're still young, they feel that life is still there, we have many years. But what I'm saying, if as a young person you do not change the way you live, you do not change your habits, and you do not learn the skills of money management, believe me, by the time you get to 40, you will be still struggling.
It's very important that we also
the energy that you have when you're young, you have to utilize it in the right way.
It's important that we note here that there are many, once they get money, they take it and start spending without thinking.
Yes.
Hii pesa nimepata, tatumia wapi, tatumia aje, namna gani.
Yes.
They don't have that in mind.
Yes.
Okay, money has come, there's this bill, they just pay bills. They just pay bills without planning on how they use their money.
Yes.
Do you agree with that, Nancy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also brought by peer pressure. Friends, negative, people who have negative thoughts. Anakwambia we tumia pesa, si kesho utapata zingine.
Yeah.
So anakuweka hiyo mind like
Pesa
wacha
utas.
nitumie, kesho utapata zingine kama hizo. So you should also avoid negative friends.
Avoid people telling you pesa utas.
Yeah.
Pesa, money. And one thing that I heard, someone was saying this, and I felt it was very powerful, that if you don't value the little, you won't value the much.
Exactly.
If you cannot manage the little, you will never manage the much.
Yes.
You agree with that?
I agree totally with that. And it goes back to the point I was saying. In life, there are good habits and bad habits.
Yeah.
So if drinking alcohol or doing things that are not saving your money, you would consider that as a bad habit. Because a good habit would be when you're saving your money in the account, you're spending less, you're planning more for your money and your finances. So every little shilling, every time you support your bad habits, then the future is going to be dim. But every time you invest your 1 shilling, your 2 shillings for tomorrow, your future will be brighter.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait there. Are you saying that aspects of drinking and smoking,
Those are habits.
yeah, those habits,
Yeah, those habits cost money.
they really did,
Wouldn't you
they
rather-
bring you down.
Wouldn't
And,
you rather go and bank your 100,000 or 10,000 in the bank and go and meditate and take in air for free and feel good about yourself and feel good about your future and plan your life?
Instead of going
or
for
would you want to escape to a pub and think that is raha, that is what life is all about? Once that money is gone, you'll now face the reality.
Yani, we are saying that smoking and drinking is even connected to your skills.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. And it's not just smoking and drinking. For example, there are bad habits like even gambling, right?
Yeah.
People receive money, all the money goes to the gambling. So they never invest it for the future. So
Wow.
you ask yourself, why are people poor? Not necessarily. There is also systemic poverty. Like in our country, we have systemic poverty, where people have been led to poverty. And this started since the colonial days. You know, we had always a disadvantage as Africans. But there is also your own responsibility, right? And that's why we're doing this Power Talk show, so that we can speak to the young minds out there and touch them in their hearts and tell them, look the other way.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, habits are not hard to stop. Every day you choose to change your habit or stop doing something is a movement towards the right direction. Is
Yes,
it?
yes.
Yeah? It's moving towards the right direction.
Let me get your thoughts on that, on the same Nancy. Mambo ya kukunywa, kulewa, smoking, nini. Hapo nataka tuguzie. Kuna jamaa saizi hata amelewa.
Yeah.
Somebody is watching this show with a cigarette, not cigar. Cigarette.
But be careful, you don't chase away the people who smoke, because they also need us.
No.
On a light note.
We are to usiende, usizime TV. Ati hao watu rama na kusumbua.
Okay, kwa hiyo point ya inaleta chini skills zetu, huwezi niambia I can employ you, you come drunk and you are smoking whereas you are serving the customer.
Wow. People go to work drunk.
Yeah. Na actually ata behave like hako drunkard.
Wow.
And you see,
That's a strong one.
self-management skills. Self-management skills. It all goes back to self-management skills. They are acquired skills, the ones that you get knowledge and you learn about, but there's self-management skills. And these are inculcated even from a foundation. For example, in school, you're taught how to, be disciplined.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
look after your clothes. Even you go to the parade, you're standing straight. Everything is polished.
You must
You
be
understand?
tucked in.
That is not just to keep you that way. It's not a punishment.
Yeah.
It's for your future's benefit, so that you learn self-management. So, like she gave the example of the guy who's drinking and going to work drunk. However, in our society and in all society around the world, those are just symptoms of underlying issues. The alcoholism is a symptom of underlying issues. And that's why I said from the beginning, people have to find a balance so that they can figure out what is really bugging them, or why are they having an unease with themselves? Why are they not in balance, right? And that's where you have to seek interpersonal counseling, relationships, or go to a counselor and seek help, or go to a rehab if you're an alcoholic, because you have to find yourself. Because or else if you don't find yourself, you're going towards a downward spiral, which will lead to negative things happening in your life, and the ultimate one is death. So that person who is not looking after his mental health, his spiritual health, right? Then even his skills become affected, because us as human beings, we're not just human beings like a robot. No, we are human beings who have these different parts that make us a whole being, right?
Yeah.
So if your mental status is not well, if your spiritual status is not well, and if your physical status, like you're not eating food, you're not eating good food, which is healthy, then even your skills themselves tend to struggle and suffer. And that's where you'll find a lot of people have perhaps anger issues. Yeah? Right? Bitterness. Right? Why? Because there's a part of themselves within the intraperson himself, that there is no proper coordination with this particular individual.
And, you know, what you're saying makes me wonder, is emotional intelligence, EQ, also something that can be part of someone's skill set? Emotional intelligence.
I'll allow her to answer first as a gentleman.
Nancy?
Okay, to the point of that emotional, like huwezi kuwa at all times, maybe most of the time I deal with the customer. Like I have to, your face, your facial expression should be bright. Like huwezi nipata niko na moods, na kila saa niko my facial expression is always good to the customer. Yani anaona yenyewe huyu mtu akona haja na kazi.
So it adds up to your skill.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Siwezi kuwa like customer, I don't like this, nakuwa mu emotional. I have to be friendly with that customer hadi aone yenyewe, maybe like nimemwambia hakuna hiki kitu fulani, like aelewe. So, like nikuwe mu emotion, I change once. So I have to or her a bright
face, a bright face. Edward?
Yes.
Emotional
intelligence. I think emotional intelligence is one of the most important things that you have to have as a skill. Because our emotions tend to go haywire. You know, emotions are normally looked at from the extreme point of view. Even when you say the word emotions, or emotions as T.D. Jakes used to call it, it's the other side. And you know, men have different emotions, women have different emotions. But how to be as intelligent to manage those emotions is all about self-awareness. When you're self-aware about yourself, you're aware about who you are, and you listen to yourself. Because there's also about, you see, listening skills is not also listening just to another individual. It's listening to your emotional self. For example, right now, I could be thinking about you and saying, your tie looks like mine. And I'm feeling a bit jealous, you know? And that is going through my mind. But now the emotional intelligence bit comes in and tells me, hey, that's not rational. A tie is a tie. You look good. It's not about the tie. Don't feel like that. So having that self-awareness and the capacity to know the difference, so that your reaction to the stimuli that has been thrown at you, for example, somebody comes and says, you've taken this, you know, with a negative energy. How are you supposed to react? Are you supposed to start insulting them? Are you supposed to start fighting them back? No. When you have emotional intelligence, you sit back and you listen to what they're saying. And then you react to it. You breathe in and then you react to it. And the way you react to it also is a skill. Yeah? For example, if somebody is shouting at you, you don't shout back. You speak calmly. And that will lead the other person. You'll influence the other person to stop shouting, because you look just like a mad person. You understand?
But you can't be shouting with your
You can't
classmates.
be shouting. You'll all become mad people. So in the end of the day, these are skills that we need in our survival. And by the way, thank you for bringing that issue of emotional intelligence. The most important aspect of us is about our emotionals and how we manage our emotionals. Because our emotionals are where our feelings rest. You know, you have a mind, which is a mental plane or the mental phase. Then you have the emotional beat, which is the feeling area.
Now, I want us to move on to Facebook. But before that, that very key area you've mentioned, emotional intelligence. Many people do not understand this, but you need to read books on emotional intelligence. Go online, search for content online about EQ. You know, there is EQ and there is IQ. And there's another quotient, emotional intelligence, emotional quotient, EQ, intelligence quotient, and there is there's a third one. I'm trying to remember what exactly it is concerning how you relate with someone. I can't remember, but these aspects are very important. Read about them. They will help you to know how to handle everybody. Family, friends, clients, colleagues, everybody. You mentioned them. Okay? On Facebook, I'm seeing King Mpole anasema tuned in from Muranga. Thank you for bringing this section. We get to learn a lot, real life situations. Thank you so much, my brother. That is King Mpole. There is someone, last prisoner. You're making jokes there. Thank you. And someone watching from Narok. Asante sana. Keep the conversation, keep the comments and your thoughts coming in even as you proceed with this conversation. I'm seeing this is Mudhoni anasema ana watch all the way from Kiambu. Asante sana. This is okay. So this is Mwalimu anasema very interesting conversation there, Ram. I love the discussion. Skills that youths need vary, and everybody needs to understand that it is very important for them to know that you cannot and never get any form of employment without getting skills. The skills are the ones that you write on your CV, and if you do not indicate those skills on your CV, you will not get that job. Some don't even know how to phrase their skills on their CV. Wow, by the way, you know, kweli. CV. How do you indicate your skills? We are talking about capitalizing on your skills. What you've capitalized on should also indicate kwa CV yako. Sindio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are different kind of skills, like there's leadership skills, you know, which are good for you because you'll be a leader.
Yeah.
There is financial management skills, right? There is business management skills. There's different kind of skills that you have to have. For example, when you're putting on your CV, you're putting those skills that are relevant to the job that you're applying. You'd not say you're skilled in bed, would you? No, you'd not put that in your CV. Right? On a light note. Yeah, even though you're skilled in that. So we're talking about when you're doing your CV, you have to look at what you're trying to get the person who's reading your CV to understand. Because it's through that CV that the person sees your skills and realizes, this is the right person we're looking for. This is the right individual who is right for this job. Yeah. And the skills also, remember, like I said, there's acquired skills that you learn from knowledge, you get certification and training. And then there's these other soft skills that are required for your own survival. For example, leadership skills, team skills, like team, when you're in one team, you know, you're a team person. That is a skill as well. Being able to be part of a team, you have to have a skill. You understand? Communication skills, you know, listening skills, right?
Very important. And ensure that you indicate these skills on your CV.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will help you. Don't ignore. Even the smallest things. Unajua watu wengine wanadharau some of these things.
Yes.
Adding to that, most of the youths wanakosea when writing a CV, anauliza rafiki yake, skill ni nini? Skill yako ni gani? Anaandika ya mwenzake.
Anaandika ya mwenzake.
Badala andike yake na inaweza msaidia. So unaweza uliza rafiki yako na hiyo si skill yako. So uandike yako inaweza kusaidia.
People lie on CVs, by the way.
So like for us as Vision 2030, and I would like to go back there because I believe apart from us just having this discussion, I think most of the things that the audience want to hear is how can they make it through another day? How can those skills be applied? And like I was saying, it's never too late. We have a program that is currently going on with TVESTA, that's a TVET Students Association, whereby we're inculcating entrepreneurial skills at an early stage. Because where our country is, we need more.
Define early.
Yes.
Define early.
An early stage meaning while you're still in the education sector. like
Primary,
either in high school,
campus.
even in primary, but to a certain degree at the lower level.
Okay.
But we're talking about university and tertiary education level,
Okay.
right? Because now you're going into the real world. So by inculcating these skills, you realize that in Kenya, where we are today, we need more entrepreneurs than employers. You understand me? We need more people who are creating jobs than those who are seeking jobs, because that's how our economy is.
We need more employers than employees.
Yes, you understand. And but how do you create those employers? It has to stem down to business.
Yeah.
So every young person and every skill they have, I was telling someone, for example, you go to a university setup, they have human resource training, right?
Yeah.
In the school. There's a training they do, like for human resource degree, or you have somebody doing accounting, right? You have someone doing computer IT, right? You have another person doing all these kind of skills. So within the university and tertiary setup, this is where businesses, small businesses, should be starting from. Because all I have to do is look within the school and figure out who right there in this school has skills in human resource that we can open the company with. Yeah. Who has skills in accounting that we can open the company with? Who has skills in all the different skill sets that you require for a business to survive and to grow?
Nancy, let me come to you from your experience. Have you seen and interacted with people who you've seen anyway? This person could have gotten this job, but lack of skills is what has let them down.
Yeah. Skills ni kitu unastahili kuaccept first. Uaccept uko na hiyo skills na uipende. Most of the people anakuja kwa apply job lakini anasema hey, hiyo siwezi fanya, ni ya wasichana. Yani akona pia na ubaguzi, hawezi fanya hii kazi.
Ati ni ya wasichana.
Yeah. Most of the men anasema hiyo siwezi fanya, can't do, because most of the time analelate na ladies more than men. So anasema mimi siezani na wasichana. So hiyo ni pia ni kitu inaweza mleta chini sana.
Unajua hiyo pia ni kiburi.
Sana.
Yeah.
Unachagua jembe na huna kazi.
Accept kenye yako nayo.
Yeah. Accept.
Yeah.
Accepting who you really are and what you are.
Let me share a story, and this is something that I always talk about. There's a time somebody called me. Interestingly, some people believe that someone like me always has jobs lying around to offer. Ram, I need a job. So somebody called me. This was a very long time ago, and akaniambia kwamba I need a job. I asked this person, what job? They said, any job. Anything in particular? No, nothing in particular, any job. I said, okay. Now, a few weeks later, a friend calls me and tells me, I'm looking for a house help. I said, no problem. I have someone that I can give to you. I called this other friend, hey, there's a job. You said you wanted any job. Kusawa, okay. So, there's this job that has come up. Yeah, kazi ya nyumba. Would you like to take it? And her response was, what do you take me for? You think I cannot? You think house help is a job I can do? Nikakata simu nikasema, my goodness. People choose jobs, yet they don't have the skills even to get one. Yeah. A very, very bad behavior.
Yes, and I agree with you. I want to give a brief history about myself. I lived in England some time back when I finished high school, and I got a scholarship to go and study there. And you can see the difference. It's like day and night. And I do not want to blame our African brothers and sisters, because the attitude we have is kind of systemic. It's kind of like, people look at those jobs as menial jobs. Yeah. But I can tell you, I was a sweeper when I lived in England.
Wow. Tell them.
And you know what? I didn't look at that. I said, I need to earn a living. I used to sweep a supermarket called Sainsbury's. And even the college I went to, I used to clean it.
You can be in England, but you are a sweeper, and
yes,
you are
I was
a perfect
janitor.
sweeper.
Let me give myself a better word. I was a janitor, so I used to clean. And I did that for 1 year. And I can tell you, I used to earn every day 4,000 shillings in Kenya shillings every day for being a sweeper. But obviously, these are the kind of things that we now need to bring here. But the other thing you have to also understand, and I do feel for that person, we also have undervalued our house helps, right? We at Vision 2030 are actually offering some training to house helps because they are entrepreneurs in their own right. They themselves are their business. They themselves are their service. You know, people mistake and think entrepreneurship is only about goods and services.
Yeah.
It's actually about even someone selling their own skills. So when you inculcate, like the lady, please go back to her and tell her the skills that she needs to learn. Like, for example, as a house help, maybe she can learn chefing, she can learn how to cook, she can learn how to do laundry proper, and she can get a housekeeper's job that is valued. You understand?
Yeah. You can
because-
build a skill regardless of the job you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want us to bring this conversation to a close. Remember time imeenda and we can talk. But I want to give you time to have a final word. Sindio?
Yes.
Tukimalizia hii maneno.
Ndio.
But 30 seconds, have a final word. Bonga na your lady friends watching you today, or advise them. One final word tukimalizia. Nancy.
Okay, thank you very much. To that point ya mwisho kidogo, even me, I used to work as a house girl, my first work after Form 4. So, I don't know, because unafikiria watu wataongea sana, nimeenda hii kazi fulani. I remember the time I started working as a house girl, people really talked. Na ukisikiza, actually you can't go anywhere.
Wow.
So, what to avoid pia negative minds and thoughts and people.
Usichague
Itawapeleka
kazi.
mbali kabisa.
Asante. Edward, final word.
For me, I think my final word would be the greatest fear that we have is that we are powerful beyond our recognition.
All right.
And that wherever you are in your life, you can always find yourself and find your way towards your success.
Thank you so much.
Never give up. That's the main thing.
All right.
And we at Vision 2030, you can find us on www.vision2030yea.org. We're there to support young entrepreneurs and
Okay.
even the old so
Okay.
that they can formalize their businesses
Okay.
and be successful.
Thank you so much, Edward.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Nancy. I want us to bring this
Welcome.
conversation to a close. Timothy, quote of the day. Accept yourself,
Yes.
your strengths, your weaknesses, your truths, and know what tools you have to fulfill your purpose.
Can we say it together?
Say it again, huh? Accept yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your truths, and know what tools you have to fulfill your purpose. And that is what brings us to the end of this show. My name is Aguko. This is Power Talk.